It's 8:30. Why are we still here? Why am I not at the Blue Hill Observatory? Come on, kids. Hello, let's go. I'm not at the observatory because the students are on a road trip this morning. Come on, let's go out. No, we get to be here in Weymouth because the future meteorologists are at Boston 25 TV station this morning. So the future meteorologists get to go see what a real weather center at a television station looks like. And back when I was their age, that's the only place you can go to see how TV was produced. But we're now blending the lines, aren't we, between television and YouTube and all the other social media platforms which consumed me this morning. Those social media platforms where I normally go for the weather. Some really frightening weather going on across the United States. I saw Matthew posted this image from, I think it was 2 days ago, actually. So yeah, there's a delay sometimes. A fire tornado in Utah, and the hot shots fighting the fire, ducking for cover as the tornado closed in on them while they're fighting a wildfire in Utah. Meantime, in Alberta, Canada, a hailstorm dropped nearly a foot of hail. It's on the other side of the continent there in southwestern Canada. And right in the middle of the nation, east of the fire tornadoes, Jim Cantori talking about how fast the water came up. It was like a rapid snow melt there in the middle of the nation near Dodge City, Kansas. Flash flooding today. And we've been talking so much about flash flooding in the last 2 months because of the cool in Canada and the exceptional warmth and especially high dew points across the lower 48, resulting in these boundaries. These stalled boundaries are the worst. In New England, at least, our boundaries tend to keep on moving. And the boundary today stretches from southeastern Canada right over eastern Kansas. It's a wavy front, 1,002 millibar low just east of Lake Huron. And I want to show you the air north of Lake Huron. There on the Quebec-Ontario border this morning, it's 36 degrees. So yeah, there's some cool air in Canada. Whenever you have these big flood events, it's not just warm, it's cool somewhere. And the series of fronts coming across southern Canada and causing the flash flooding. Yesterday was kind of an odd day. Here are the damage reports from yesterday, stretching all the way from Utah and then across the Central Plains. Several tornadoes yesterday in Wisconsin. And then the feature that really confused me was what was going on in northern Virginia and Pennsylvania, with several more reports of hail and flash flooding and severe weather, very separate from the front that is coming at us. So there was a little sort of prefrontal trough, and that kind of helped stabilize the atmosphere a little bit here in southern New England. That blew through here with just a few raindrops last night and this morning. Here's the satellite image from about, I don't know, I think 8 o'clock, and it showed some showers and thunderstorms, especially heavy in Ontario, well, the clouds that represent them, while it was mostly clear in northern Maine, a bunch of fog in southern Maine, and clouds and sun mixed in southern New England with some downpours just decaying near Long Island. Here's the radar showing mostly that heavier rain in Ontario with the scattered showers elsewhere, as that system that came across Pennsylvania yesterday kind of decayed right over us. And so it's a really tough call on where it may rain today. It's day 3 of a 3-day heat wave, and the temperature at 8 o'clock, Burlington, Vermont, and Boston, Massachusetts, both at 81 degrees, both with a dew point in the 70s. But the temperature in Boston did get down to 72 this morning, so we're not a record high low temperature. The record high low temperature in Boston today is 78 degrees from the year 1900. So those nights when it only gets down to 78, those are the worst heat waves. I'm surprised we actually did get down to 72 this morning because it was so sticky. A few spots had dew points near 80 yesterday. We'll talk more about that in the end more. And we'll also talk more in the end more about what's going on with Steve's coat. Yeah, we're trying to give him a summer coat, but it's not so easy. and the third blooming of the roses. Day 3 of the heat wave. I don't have to report to the Blue Hill Observatory today, but I'm going back tomorrow, so I get some time to edit. And I'm going to introduce you to all the students here. Michael Page came to visit yesterday, and we went out for this group shot. And so the Boston 10-day, well, it's actually a 14-day meteogram. That's the meteorology graphic with the lines, the red line, the temperature kind of going up and down today with a triangle with a lightning bolt and an exclamation point, meaning we may have a severe thunderstorm today as the front kind of eases in, but then it's going to race out tomorrow, and we're in cool and dry air advection tomorrow, a day ahead of what we thought a few days ago. Tomorrow, the dew point goes down to 50. Is that possible? That's amazing. We're going to have to move a lot of air. It's going to be quite windy tonight with or without a thunderstorm. And the high pressure comes right over us on Saturday. Looks like a great day. Temperature near 80, dew point slowly coming back up. And then look at the blue line goes right back up to the low 70s on Sunday. Bunch of raindrops. And it's going to be almost a mesoscale convective system coming through here on Sunday with a chance of downpours. The timing on that is really difficult. It keeps speeding up. First, it looked like Sunday night. Now it looks like it may be done by Sunday morning. And then Monday, another one of these nice high-pressure systems from Canada. The dew point goes back down through the 50s. The temperature goes back down to the upper 70s. That is almost a chilly high-pressure system coming in on Monday. But as that settles over us on Tuesday and Wednesday, backside of that's going to feature more rough weather and the potential for maybe a heat wave next week. I'm not sure we can get 3 90-degree days, but we'll probably get at least 1 or 2 next Wednesday, Thursday. So that's the global model, the Euro model. And I think the global models have been doing a better job with this precipitation events than the high-resolution short-range models, which are supposed to do a better job. The National Severe Storm Prediction Center says that we are in a marginal risk for severe weather, especially near the Canadian border today. Anywhere there in the light green means you may have a thunderstorm. The little bit darker green means it's a little more likely. In the yellow, it's almost certain that you're going to have severe weather. And if you toggle to the possibility of a tornado, the possibility of a tornado at the Canadian border north of Mount Mansfield, Mount Washington today is not 0. It's 98% probability we will not have a tornado, but the probability is not 0. 2% chance of a tornado today at the Canadian border. So we've got the competing energy centers, that one that went through here last night is moving out, and the one that's coming in. And the thing is, this front is really going to just slingshot through here. So instead of kind of a slow-moving front with a lot of thunderstorms, it's going to really intensify and whip by. So it's going to be outrunning its energy very quickly late today and tonight. But nevertheless, I'll show you the NAM high resolution. And right out of the gate here, it shows this stuff coming across Long Island and Connecticut looks really overdone. So chance for a morning or midday shower by the time I even get this edited out. That will have gone across southern New England. And then the scattered showers and thunderstorms more across northern New England. And again, the odds of this hitting exactly where and when are very low. Just say that there is a pretty good chance, a 50-50 chance that any one of us is going to get a strong to severe thunderstorm today. Maybe some isolated flash flooding, but it looks like it's going to be progressive enough that not in New England, where the front is slower, of course. Pennsylvania, New Jersey, West Virginia, a better chance. And then it keeps on going right through tomorrow, Friday. It doesn't show a lot except for the packing of the black lines, isobars, and the red lines, the thermal gradient. It's going to be windy with cold air advection, and it's not really cold. It's just really refreshing, and the high pressure is going to come right over us on Saturday. And you see the lines, the black lines disappear, almost no wind on Saturday, and you see some precipitation starting to show up across New York there at 2 o'clock on Saturday. And that's going to be the backside with the warm air. The backside of these high pressure systems, I talk about it so often, are equally as important as the front side. So you get the cold front on the front side of these highs, and then you get the warm front on the back side of these highs, and that's going to be a warm front, a wave on a warm front on Sunday, and those waves on warm fronts can do damage. Let's put Steve in the shade. We're taking the shade to Steve. There, Steve, you're in the shade. T-Rex just loves the sun for a limited time, and for a limited time only. T-Rex loves the sun. All right, so let's go to the Euro now. This is the global model, and this is what we rely on for the day-to-day. Oh, the social media. I forgot. I was talking about the social media and how I love to cover the weather. But that incident that happened at the Coldplay concert yesterday, too embarrassing. But I spent about an hour listening to Danielle Muir and Chuck Nolan talking about it yesterday. They did not reveal names, which was nice. The names of the guilty shall be remain anonymous, but just incredible how that zips around the world, how fast things change and how fast everything can change. The weather is a little slower motion than this. The weather changes in waves and the weather forecast change in waves. And now we'll go to the Euro global model and talk about the low pressure going north of New England today, and our front is whipping through. It's actually a prefrontal trough today with the showers and thunderstorms, and the front itself is going to come through tonight, but the energy is going to be now displaced to the east and the north. So tomorrow we just have a breezy day. You're going to wake up to, wow, hopefully we opened the windows last night because the dew point's going to fall through the 50s. It's very windy. That high comes right over us on Saturday, and the heat is still locked in over the middle part of the nation. And that heat is going to try and bounce back in here on Sunday. But as it tries, here's Saturday night, the wall of water coming at us, thunderstorms, and the high is going to be reluctant to leave, and that warm to hot wants to plow through here, and that results in showers and thunderstorms, heaviest with that wave of low pressure going on the Maine coast, still down to about 1,000 millibars as it departs late Sunday afternoon, leaving us with deep puddles in lots of New England from Sunday morning. And then this next high looks very similar to what's happening tonight, with a lot of wind and cold air advection coming back here on Sunday night and Monday. Wow, the 546 just north of us. That's some nice cool air. That's a strong high. A beautiful looking Monday, and Tuesday the high comes right over us. And then on the backside of that, more real heavy weather with that heat locked in the Central Plains with the 582 thickness out there, and a series of mesoscale convective systems racing through, decaying over New England as the heat advances back here next Wednesday, Thursday, and then it's always a Thursday and Friday with these fronts, isn't it? Every Thursday, Friday. And then by Saturday, it looks like the front's right over us, and this now goes out to Sunday. And what is that? July 26th. And where yesterday we showed the 582 thickness on our doorstep, now it shows just real heavy rain here on day 10, as the front's going to be stalled over us, and the 582 thickness is over Ohio. And to our north is the 552 thickness with a 1020 millibar, another nice, refreshing high-pressure system coming out of Ontario. It's going to press in here next weekend. But again, I talk about the weather change in waves and the weather forecast change in waves. And so what looked like last week we were going to have these big fronts coming through here on Monday, and Friday it changed, and now it's a big front coming through on our Thursday. And Steve's trying to take off to the right, and T-Rex to the left. Are you guys tangled up? I have a lot of editing to do. So I'd say that's it for the weather for now. Random sun and storms. Heat wave ends today. Possible heat wave next week. Climatologically speaking, today is the hottest day of the year, climatologically speaking, on average. But, you know, average weather rarely exists. It's usually a balance of the extremes. So we're going to meet the kids at the Blue Hill yesterday, the future meteorologists. Michael Page, great job. Michael Page spoke for an hour on what it takes to make a forecast for television, and I'm going to put a separate post of Michael on there, maybe about a 45-minute of Michael's lesson, but we'll have a snippet from him. And of course, coming back here, no sailboat race yesterday. What happened to the sailboat race yesterday? And out in the yard, and explain what happened to Steve's coat. He won't let me do it. We have to get a professional. All right, and more from yesterday. Stay cool. Open the windows tonight. 11 a.m. I got the day off from teaching this morning, but I'm going in now. 85 degrees at 11 midday on a Wednesday. We've got some cumulus showing up on the horizon. Got the concrete form workers working on the forms. And the radar just showed a couple of showers developing in southern Worcester County. So that'll be interesting. And also a little meso low pressure system over Kentucky and Tennessee that I did not notice until the visible satellite showed a little spin down there. That's going to be coming toward Long Island overnight tonight. So a lot of little things in between the big thing, which is the front tomorrow afternoon, to the Blue Hill Observatory now.
July is her
Carter Allen, tomorrow's his wife's birthday.
I'm taking her to a fine steak restaurant. We're upon chili filet, and meanwhile I'm ordering baked potatoes. potatoes and asparagus, but hey, I do it for love.
Oh, Carter.
Floyd and Van Halen
She says it's
are on
his
deck.
wife's birthday all month. He's a vegetarian. She likes steak. She's getting it tomorrow. And we're here at the exit ramp for the Blue Hill, and the cumulus are reaching up. And look at, there's a real chunky one way out there. I think we're gonna have a little better view here in a second. Pretty nice. Actually doesn't look as impressive as it did from the road. When in doubt, go higher. I think that clock's an hour behind, pretty sure. On the way up, we stop in the observatory room and observe big thunderstorms out there, but little ones starting to pop right there in central Massachusetts. And this is an hour by hour, and we see the temperature increasing, and then all of a sudden, come on, where is it? I saw a 92 there. I think Nashua, New Hampshire in the lead. Come on. Manchester, 92. Here at the Blue Hill. Is it really only 11 a.m.? Seriously? I'm here early. Temperature's 88.5. Dew point 75. Heat index 97. Let's go up to the roof. Really feel it. Noontime, so they keep the clocks on standard time instead of going to daylight savings. Some consistency in time is necessary. So, once again, looking toward the east, over toward the ocean. Subsidence over to more stable, cooler water. There's the city of Boston, somewhat hazy today. Then we look off to the west and southwest. I can't quite see any precipitation reaching the ground, but we get the clouds reaching higher in the sky on another beautiful summer day here on the top of eastern Massachusetts. Looking out at Houghton's Pond towards Plymouth, Cape Cod Bay. Oh, there's a construction site going on over here. This is a communications. I think it might be AT&T or Verizon or something. And there, get some growth on the roof there, and they get a tent they're working with. And on the other side of that, there's a new septic system going in. A lot going on up here in the midday sun. It's called the Stokes-Campbell's Sunshine-ometer. It burns a track across a piece of paper. That's how we track how much sunshine. And centuries worth of data, we can see the average sunshine over a century. And all this data compare and add up for climatological purposes. Hey Francis Tamarez.
How's it going?
Good to see you again. And Amanda and Matt. And what did you bring us?
Yeah, so we've got the 25-year service award here from the Department of Commerce. Then we have the long-term observing station. This is for stations that have observed for more than 100 years. So happy to give this to the Blue Hill Observatory today.
Oh my goodness, what an honor. And even though we don't have an automated surface observation system, but we still have plenty of data.
Yes.
It's just a little more challenging to spread. So we appreciate the honors. Thank you.
So we appreciate the service of the observatory.
And it's signed Chris Stekelski, Regional Observation Program Leader, Climate Services Program Manager, National Weather Service, Eastern Regional Headquarters. It's official. We're on the map. Meanwhile, underneath there's a Roach data entry from 1893. What was the weather in April of 1893? There it is. Wow. This is awesome.
That is so cool. I'm meteorologist Dockery from Natick, Massachusetts.
Hi, I'm future meteorologist Jeff Tam from Northborough, Massachusetts.
Where were you born?
Chicago.
I'm future meteorologist Lane Fannin. I'm from Findlay, Ohio.
And could you introduce yourself, please?
I'm meteorologist Michael Page. I'm from Hingham, Massachusetts, and I still live there.
And what's your mission today, Michael?
Well, as the people in the back just arrived, we're going to show you how to forecast the weather as I would on TV, what tools I would use, what tools you can use freely online, and some tips and tricks to hopefully connect with people in a way that a future meteorologist will, because the industry has changed quite a bit. So, with that in mind, you guys have research tends to show that these heavy rain events are becoming more frequent, tends to show that we're becoming more humid. So, yes, is it possible that we're seeing more of this? The research seems to indicate it, and those of you who want to go into research, you'll likely spend your time doing this. And any good meteorologist is going to read that research and understand. But likewise, any good meteorologist is not going to stand on a soapbox after one flooding event and say, this is climate change. That is not going to happen. Any scientist who is trying to claim that one particular event is linked to something like that is doing a disservice. So this is where being a researcher, being a broadcaster, working for the weather service, or working in the private sector, it all works together, and you really do need to pay attention to all the branches. Beautiful pan shot.
Thank you. Because there's
Yeah, sometimes people ask, you guys haven't asked, but sometimes people will ask very bluntly, so like, where do I make the most money? Because it's definitely not TV. It's unlikely the weather service. Probably not. But if you want to make money, if you're like, where do I make bank in weather? You're going into the private sector, think insurance, think hedge funds, and you can do well. You have a lot of pressure though, because you're making a lot of money potentially, but you're also potentially losing a lot of money. So what do those jobs look like? You could be forecasting natural gas usage, for example. So, those companies are looking for, where is our demand going to be higher? Where are we looking for really hot rows?
There is an alumni from this school right here, whatever we call it, Launch Your Meteorological Career, Jack Sillen. That's what he's doing. He's over in Chinatown right now looking at every run of every model. And
you can do it, and you can do well, but it's not for me. Not for me. I'm the boring guy who just talks about the weather.
no, you're not the boring guy at all. And we really appreciate this, Michael Page. Thank you very much for coming. How about a little hand from Mr. Page? That was excellent. Really good. All right, we're taking class outside now. This is cool. There they go with the giggling. I'm sorry, but some of you are going to end up on TV. Some of you are going to end up on TV, and you're all going to be on YouTube tomorrow morning. Oh, yeah, it's true.
Hi to my grandparents through your phone.
Yeah, say hello to your grandparents.
Hi, Grammy and Pappy. I know you're stalking me. Please stop doing that.
Oh, I'm so happy.
Yeah,
Yes. My mother said, don't stare at the sun. I think Isaac Newton went blind staring at the sun. And there's the class of 2025, the 14th year of Launch Your Meteorology Career. What's your name? Where are you from?
Hello, I'm future meteorologist Ethan Fontaine, and I'm from Westboro, Massachusetts.
Hello, I'm future meteorologist Zach Berman, and I'm from Mount Kisco, New York. Hi, I'm future meteorologist Oliver Himmeline of Hanson, Massachusetts.
What's your first name over there?
Hi, my name is Don, Operations Director at Blue Hill Observatory.
I'm future meteorologist Lane Phantom from Findlay, Ohio.
I'm future meteorologist from East Brunswick, New Jersey.
I'm future meteorologist Tom Bailey from Tell City, Indiana.
I'm future meteorologist Emma DeRuge from Worcester, Massachusetts.
I'm future meteorologist Aurora Hirschman from Washington, D.C.
Hi, I'm future meteorologist Hannah Rainwater from Granbury, Texas.
Hi, I'm future meteorologist Lily Egan from East Brookfield, Massachusetts.
Hi, I'm future meteorologist Blake Matheny, and I'm from Jacksonville, Florida.
Hi, I'm future meteorologist Kai Cushing-Candelario, and I'm from North Reading, Massachusetts.
Hi, I'm future meteorologist Caitlin Doherty, and I'm from Natick, Massachusetts.
Hi, I'm future meteorologist Jeff Canny. I'm from Northborough, Massachusetts.
Hi, I'm future meteorologist Joseph Barrett. I'm from Cambridge, Massachusetts.
Hi, I'm future meteorologist Madison Nagelbush from New Milford, New Jersey.
Hi, I'm future meteorologist Ana Lucia Silva from Atlanta.
Oh, hey TK. I'm actual meteorologist Michael Page.
Thank you so much. You're all so patient. I know you're all laughing and making fun of me in the video, but we're on out the door, weather and more and more and more. Group shot. 4 p.m. going down the Great Blue Hill. There are the ski slopes right over there where I learned to ski 50 years ago. And temperature says 97 on the dashboard thermometer. We just did a practice broadcast when we were showing the temperature maps. It's in the upper 80s right at the beach, but I saw some places that the dew point was in the upper 70s. Even in southwestern Connecticut, a couple stations said the dew point was 80. Yikes. Temperatures generally away from the coast of 92 to 95 degrees. Day 2 of the heat wave. Day 3 of Launch Your Meteorology Career. Go back to Weymouth, hoping it's a little cooler. Watch some sailboat action. Just a fascinating sky. It's like Florida. Drive right under that. Just heavy enough bottom, but not quite heavy enough to drop a raindrop that I can see. 6 o'clock. came home, took a little bit of a nap. It's that kind of day. Steve's out. Well, still some cumulus left, but most of them have evaporated now with the sun getting lower in the sky. I don't know if you can see that. It says 95, but the sun is hitting that thermometer. Another reason for the clouds to diminish was the sea breeze front may have evaporated. Heating of the day is decreasing. The boats are pointed toward the southwest here, as the sailboat race usually starts between now and 7. I don't see a lot of sailboats, but I'm assuming there's a race this evening. Not sure if we're ready for that play out with Captain Spacetime, but we're close. Focus. Can't believe how many thunderstorms there are across Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania is like a flash flood magnet. The front is still way back in Wisconsin with tornadoes. So I'm not sure what that energy system is in Pennsylvania. It's like a prefrontal trough. That's what it looked like on the satellite here at 6 o'clock yesterday, which is right now actually. All right, a few more minutes on this. 30. Rex wants to join Steve out there. That's what he said anyway. I want to go talk to Steve out there. Rex, this way. Come on. So I just used my binoculars, looking all over for a sailboat race. And I only found 2 sailboats. 1, 2, with sails up anyway. So no sailboat race this evening. All right. Everyone needs a break now and then. That cumulus is evaporating. Look to the west. Just check some of the numbers. 2 stations reporting a dew point of 80 degrees. Oxford, Connecticut, and Sandusfield, Massachusetts. 6 o'clock. The blue numbers, 6 p.m. are the dew points. Wednesday, July 16. And you know what July 17th is? It is the top of the bell curve of average high temperatures throughout the year in New England. So we have reached the peak of heat. Hopefully, literally also. So from here on in, starting next week, the average daily temperatures are going to start to decrease as the azimuth of the sun decreases each day, losing about 1.5 minutes of daylight right now. You like that breeze, huh, Steve? It feels good. And if you're wondering about the butcher job we've done, so we've got some pricing on trying to have him professionally sheared. He would need a blood work. He would need to be sedated. He would need to be sheared. Estimate $1,300. That's why we try to do it ourselves. DIY. Where are you going? Your line's not that long. I'll undo it while we watch a time lapse of the tide coming way in Weymouth. You're on the big dig. Excavator was working today. They're working on the forms. And it's still pretty high tide. And on Cape Cod, did we start with fog? It's been fun watching the Cape Cod cam. Clouds going in 2 different directions. I don't know if we had any upper level clouds. And back to Weymouth. T-Rex grazing on the edge. Eating some of the weeds. T-Rex doing what T-Rex loves to do. Rubbing his body. Smells a dead worm. I feel good. I think dogs try to make themselves smell like the ground. Supposedly, it makes them more into alpha. Steve going on walkabout. I think that's enough. Okay, Steve, you can stop right there. And I'm gonna stop right here with the sun sparkle. And call it a day. Thanks for watching. Talk to you tomorrow.